What's going on? How's everyone doing?
Shout out to Colin. Everybody else who's cool with Colin.
Chunky! I didn't say.
Eat your popcorn and your Coca-Cola and relax.
Anyway, tell Colin I'm ready.
What's going on? This is Colin. How's everybody doing? Hope you guys are having a great day so far. Yeah. That's how I start my videos, not my lives. It's a day. How's everyone doing? Hope you guys are having a great day. Happy Wednesday. Happy hump day. It is Wednesday, right? It's Wednesday. Or is it Tuesday? It's Wednesday. What day of the week? All right, I'm just going to stop talking. You guys want to watch some court? Let's watch some court. All right, this is, I've got a couple clips. Defendants aren't really that smart today. They really aren't. Kind of like me. I'm kind of nailing it. I'm on point. So first one, we got a Judge Simpson clip. Then we got a Judge Ricke clip. And we finish with some Judge Conlin. Okay? Yeah, all right. Before I hit that play button, you know what to do. Hit the like and subscribe. Do your jump kick backflips. Let's go.
We're actually in person, not in a little box.
Yeah, I got here at 9. And
What?
And it's Dante.
It's Dante. So an E.
No E.
Oh, the A is a long A.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. I'm like, I was gonna put an E on the end, and then I said, oh,
I know a lot of people
coming.
get confused.
Okay. All right, it's okay. I'll probably mess it up again, but
No, you
okay.
good.
Thanks for letting me know. Okay, go ahead, Mr.
So counter sword on behalf of.
All right, this is an arraignment. Is it? No. Oh, to withdraw his plea. Right, because he had tried to appear via Zoom and I couldn't do. Okay. All right. So this is your motion to withdraw your plea?
Yeah.
Why do you want your plea withdrawn?
Just because the situation was misunderstood. As far as like the insurance and the tags, like I understand that. That's why I paid like the day of the ticket. But the officer.
Skiz Rock. Good to see you, bud. Haven't seen you in a while. Sent you a message on Discord because I was worried about you. It's been a couple weeks. Hopefully you're well, man. Hopefully you're well. Okay. Need to pause it for Skiz Rock. Have to.
Was following me and then detained me without any questioning and was searching my car for over like 15 minutes. Then tried to get into the trunk of my car when he asked me.
Okay, that's why you want to withdraw your plea?
I'm trying to get my vehicle back because I can't afford to give $3,000 to get my car back. My car shouldn't have been towed.
Hold on a second. Okay. So your car got impounded.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, young man. Okay. All right. Let me just ask you this. At the time that you were pulled over, you were by yourself?
Yeah.
Okay. So, there might have been something else here, but I'll just tell you what I can see based on paper. The offense took place and specifically I'm addressing your statement that your vehicle shouldn't have been impounded, right? So, the offense or the stop, the date that you came into contact with the police took place on, I have May 14th of 2024 on Carpenter Road,
Yes, correct.
right? Near Center Valley. So you're down by Target.
Yeah, I was down by Target in McDonald's.
Gotcha. Okay, in that. Got it. And then just looking for at about 10 o'clock in the morning, right?
Yeah, it was about 10.
Right. Well, I'm just looking at the ticket. I'm just saying what I can see. And then oh, all right. Okay, so that's on May 14th. When I'm looking at your
Hey, Jess. Good to see you. Hope you're having a great night. Yeah, this one starts off a little slow, but don't worry, it gets better. It gets better.
driver's license, right? The information. Your license, you have an enhanced license that's valid.
Yes.
Problem is, well, I don't know if it's a problem or not. I have an issue date on that of June 18th of 2024.
Of like when they gave me the new license? Is that what you asking?
No, what I'm saying is this. I have that your license was issued June 18th of 2024. Now my question is this. Right, your birthday's in March, right?
Yeah, March 10th.
Right. So right. Okay, so let me just work it through here. Your original license that you received was on March 3rd of 2010,
Yes.
right? So that license in 2010, if you get a 4-year license, so 14, 18, 22, and then it should have been 26, which means, well, it looks to me that the license prior to this one that you got in June, there wasn't one.
So I went to the Secretary of State and they told me that someone up there made an error in 2016.
In 2016?
Yeah. And then I ended up taking the driver's test twice. I don't know why someone up there made an error.
What? All right. No.
That's what,
In 2016, somebody made an error?
yes, that's what they told me at the Secretary of State. That's why it showed up on his computer that there was 2 licenses, and he said that one was suspended. And
Whoa.
that sense.
Where'd the second license go?
That's what he told me.
That there were 2?
Yes, he after he searched my car.
This guy is so good at driving, so unbelievable at driving. His driving skills are through the roof. That he gets 2 driver's license and he gets to take the driver's test twice. Such a lucky man. Yeah, it doesn't work like that. You can see why Judge Simpson's confused.
And when I told him, he came back to the squad car. He said, "How do I get in the trunk of your car?" I told him, "You don't have probable cause for that or a warrant. I don't know why you need that." He went back and kept searching. Then he got in the car, and I just wasn't responding to him because he wasn't listening to me. And then he said, "Well, you have 2 driver's license and 1 suspended, so I'm towing your car."
Okay, so here's what, hang on a second. I don't know anything about the search, and I get that you may be upset about that, but I'm not here to deal with that, right? He said you had 2.
Yes.
But in the case he had a state ID, expired state ID, and maybe that's what the confusion.
But it's like what?
Hold on. The report indicates he had a state ID.
Correct. Expired at the time of the stop. And as we learned previously, you cannot have a driver's license and a state ID.
Right. So, okay, young man. When did you get the state ID? You know?
So I lost my wallet and that one was old. That's why I went to the Secretary of State to figure that out. Because I was confused. The moment he told my
why you went to the Secretary of State when? Right after this, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right after, because I was confused. I didn't know. And then on top of that, when he stopped me, it wasn't like he was even asking me for any of that. He told me, get out the car or I'm gonna arrest you.
Okay, look, young man, if you want to be mad at the officer, you can be mad at the officer and you can do whatever. It doesn't get me anywhere today trying to deal with your motion to withdraw your plea. Okay? So you can tell me all of that. That's not going to factor into anything I have to deal with. Understood?
Yeah.
So when did you get a state?
Speaking of which, I don't think I responded to your email. I read it this morning and I even still have it open. Yeah. Isn't that special? I'll respond to you. Thank you so much for your kind words last night, though. I appreciate it.
ID. Do you know?
Somebody made an error. I don't know. They just this is
Okay, let me ask you this then. You got your license, because I can see it from here, in 2010. You would have had to go back on your birthday in 2014 to renew your license, because it would have been a 4-year license, right?
Mhm.
If you had done that, that license should have been good to 2018. Okay, let me stop there for a minute. You're telling me that when you went to the Secretary of State, you're saying somebody said they made a mistake in 2016.
Yes. And this is the second time I've ever even been pulled over. I've never.
Well, again, I don't, that doesn't help me.
Yeah.
All right. I mean,
Hi, Heather.
That's what they told me. They had to call HR, all types of stuff to try to figure it all out. And then I even had to take I took a driver's test twice, and because they needed me to, because someone made an error up there. I got paperwork at home for 2 different.
yeah, but that doesn't. Mr. Siller, all you can see is that the only thing he had on him was a Michigan ID.
Well, it's officer indicated that when he ran the plate, he said there was an expired state ID.
When he ran
his name and
when he ran his name.
right, and he came back with an expired state ID and not a license, not a valid license.
Okay, so
It's good news. It does now have a license.
no, right. And what I'm getting at is, yeah, I'm now looking at the ticket.
Yeah, the remark section.
Right. Hey, young man, do you know when you got that state ID?
I ended up getting robbed, and
No,
that's
no,
the
no.
one
I
that
don't.
had.
I'm not.
I don't remember because I don't have it on me.
What about the?
All right, we are watching. Well, this is Judge Simpson. He's a new judge. I don't know if you've seen him before. He just started a couple weeks ago. Where's Heineken when I need him? No, this guy. Wait, that wasn't Heineken? Was that Heineken's joke? I don't remember who started that joke. Anyways, this guy got a ticket for driving without a license. I think he paid it, which generally when you pay a ticket, it's admitting guilt. So now he filed a motion to set aside his guilty plea. So because he thinks that he has a license, something like that. It's confusing. It's confusing, and yeah. This one starts off slow. It gets good. Judge Simpson will get a little heated by the end of it. It does get good. No one knows here.
The one that you, I'm talking the one in May, the expired one that the officer saw.
Mm-hmm.
Do you still have that one?
No.
Okay. So whether there was a mistake or not, I can't say. All I know is this, that as Mr. Schiller was alluding to, you can't have a state ID and a license at the same time. So whenever you may have done it, when you went to get, so you would have had about, if they said 2016, and I'm guessing here, but this may make sense. You in 2016, at some point, you may have lost your license or something happened. You go to the Secretary of State because there would have been no reason for them to have contact with you from, if I just go by the beginning of your license, till 2018. But if they're telling you a mistake is made in 2016, fine. You probably need a photo ID, right? The quickest way for you to get a photo ID, well, you could have gotten your license replaced, but somehow or another, you get a Michigan ID. The moment you get that Michigan ID, your driver's license is canceled. And so now what you have is you have a Michigan ID, right? Which is why at whatever point prior to that time that occurred, it could have occurred between 18 and 22, or it could have occurred in that period from 14 to 18. And if they're telling you 16, that's, I bet you, when it occurred. And at some point, you're operating off of a Michigan ID. And then when the officer pulls you over, all you have is an expired ID. Likely when they went in, it really isn't two licenses that he saw, because I don't see another number attached to.
Yeah. So when he said that, I was like, that doesn't make no sense.
Well, it does, but it's not a license he's looking at. He's looking at what he sees are two forms of ID. He's seeing your Michigan ID when he's running it. He's seeing your Michigan ID and he's seeing a license. It can't have both.
Okay.
And so if that's what the officer saw, I can understand his suspicion then, because you shouldn't be able, you can't have two of them. Whether somebody made a mistake or not, it's the Secretary of State, I don't know. I'm just saying you can't have both. So then after this stop occurs, you go to the Secretary of State. They're going to make you're over 18, so they're going to make you basically start again, because at some point, that's why you took the driver test course, because at some point, your license lapsed for an excessive period of time.
Okay.
And that's going to be the period at which, whenever it was, that you had the Michigan ID.
Mhm.
That's what happened. That's why you become the focal point. Now, it makes sense with what, it may not make sense to you when you're there, and you may think the officer's not telling you something, but I can understand it now, because you have two forms of ID. And the only one he finds on you, or that you have, is the expired Michigan ID. But you had said you lost your wallet, or somebody took your wallet, so you don't even have your new Michigan ID on you.
They just gave me a new one now though, but
What?
they just gave me a new one now.
When? In June?
I got it in my pocket.
No, but that's different. Okay. I'm having to deal with this way too much in my life. That's different than what the officer had you with. The expired one, what he had you with was an expired Michigan ID. That's different than having a driver's license. That may be that, I don't know why you're there in 16, but if something happened to your driver's license in 2016, you go to the Secretary of State. What you want is your license back. And when they're telling you somebody made a mistake, I can't say it's happened. Whatever happens, you get a Michigan ID. That cancels your driver's license.
Okay, I understand that.
You following me?
I'm following.
And then as you're just kind of moving along, living your life, doing whatever, at some point, and just looking at it from the Secretary of State side, your license, you just lapsed. It's like you went in and said, I don't want my license, give me a state ID, is how they're going to see it, regardless of what happened when you were down there at the Secretary of State. And then that period in time lasted so long that then after this happens, you go back in, you got to basically start again. Make sense? I mean, that make you happy?
Oh, no, that does. No, I understand now.
And maybe so that you can sort of understand.
All right. After that, I don't know, 10-minute explanation from Judge Simpson, the guy said he understands. Do you think he understands? Do you think he's like, okay, I get it. I'm leaving. I'll withdraw my motion. Do you think that's what's going to happen? No, it's not. It's not. Just wait.
From the officer's perspective, okay, because you were bringing this up, and maybe to chill you out a little bit. The officer, when they run you, I now get two things. You don't have anything on you except an expired one, right? But I now get two things that come back on you. The only thing you can show, I don't want to say it, I'm trying to make it really clear, because I think this is what happened when he told you had two. If I'm the officer, I'm not sure that you ever got a driver's license. Okay, and I'm guessing a little bit, but it makes sense. Because I see two things come up, right? And the numbers are going to be similar, but I see two things come up. And the only thing I've got on you physically is an expired ID. Which then leads me to the conclusion that you didn't have a driver's license. But for whatever reason, a driver's license is coming back, but that driver's license is gone. Yeah. Follow me?
Mhm.
Now, at that point, and I'm gonna tell you, even if it were me on the road and I stop you and all of that comes back to me, I'm suspicious of you at that point. Because those things shouldn't be happening. Right?
Mhm.
And it would have almost been, and this sounds crazy, but sometimes life's, if you, it would have almost been better if you hadn't had the expired Michigan ID. Right? Because at that point, I could almost say there's got to be a mistake somewhere. But the moment you had the Michigan ID, I think you just have a Michigan ID that you didn't have a driver's license, but somehow another driver's license showed. Okay? That's why he probably has the suspicion of what the heck's going on.
So
I mean, I'm not saying it's your fault, but what I'm saying is I don't think it's the officer's fault necessarily either, the raising of the suspicion. Whatever happened, as they're telling you in 2016,
Mhm.
this was just waiting to occur at some point.
okay.
It was just going to happen. And you
So whether
probably
he did-
walked out of there thinking that you had a driver's license when really all you had was a state ID wherever that got messed up.
So whether he did that, but he did all that after.
Did all whatever.
Like, why didn't he run my plate?
No,
run.
he knows before he's gonna say anything to you. I'm telling you right now.
Yeah, he didn't run my plate still until after.
Not the plate, the
He didn't-
license.
Even that, he didn't look at none of that until like 20 minutes after.
So he does that before he goes over the.
Goes over.
What you mean?
Oh yeah, he knows
He has all the information before he stops.
before
You know how I
I'm
know
tell-
he didn't?
Look, young man, you can sit here and argue with me.
I had
I'm gonna tell you what. Do a ride along. You will see. They know it before they necessarily.
I'm asking you
get to
how. I'm asking you how. Because he ran my. How he gonna run my plates when I have a cover over my plate? My Audi is custom.
It doesn't.
When I pulled out,
Sir, what do you want to do? Because you just want to be mad at the officer.
I'm
for
not
something.
mad- I'm not
no,
mad.
listen to me. You want to be mad at the officer. I would be mad at the officer too if there wasn't a valid reason, which is the only reason I went through all of this stuff. And what I'm trying to tell you is you need to just chill about it. It doesn't matter. You can sit here all day and night long and try to blame the officer for it. Because the first question I asked you is I said, were you alone? And the reason I asked you if you were alone is because the moment you don't have a license, he can't leave that vehicle. That's why your vehicle's impounded, because that's the first thing you came to me and
I
said.
do
So if you
understand.
want to argue,
Understand.
you can go argue elsewhere. I'm here to just deal with your motion.
I'm not mad or frustrated. I'm saying he couldn't have ran my plates.
Yes, he could.
How are you gonna run a plate when the plate got a cover on it? He can see.
I mean, let's just. This is why I titled the video "Court Geniuses." He's admitted to a crime right now. I have a cover over my plate. You can't see my plate. Like, yeah. Why are you telling the judge that, man? Why are you telling the judge that? Rich, good to see you, buddy. Thank you so much for the 7 months. That is awesome. Thank you so much, Rich. I appreciate it.
See through the new plates that you can cover up. Like, that's what I'm trying to ask. That's what I'm not understanding. When I pulled off on Carpenter, he was coming from textile.
And you're saying your plate isn't exposed on your vehicle?
My plate, it's the new plates that you can order. So it can be exposed when I allow it to be. I just picked the car up. The car has been in the shop for months. I haven't driven my car all year. When I pulled off on textile, he just can't, he was following me.
Okay.
Before
He's just a bad officer. You know what? Go ahead, sue him.
All
Have
right,
your
and
day.
that's what
Have your day in court.
that's what I'll do.
You go ahead and do it, but don't do it here because I don't have any more time to listen to you. I'm trying to explain it to you, but you want to be hard-headed and not do it. You want to say, how does he know? I'm telling you, before they walk up to that vehicle, they know who you are. Just
All
as
right.
simple as that.
And
You may
I'll-
not like it.
I-
Everybody else may not like it. That's too bad.
Appreciate
What's the basis for your motion?
I appreciate it. I'll just sue him. It's
What?
I'm gonna just sue him. It's fine.
You're not getting anywhere. That's what I'm trying to tell you. You're being hard at it. Because I can tell you, why do you think I just went through all of it? The reason I went through all of that is I can tell you exactly what happened. You didn't have a driver's license because I can tell from your record, you didn't get a driver's license issued to you until June of this year.
Okay.
Motion denied.
All right. Appreciate it.
Stupid.
All right. I love how it ended with this is just stupid. Okay, we're going to check out Judge Ricke now, and this one actually Lone Wolf gave me a heads up that this was going on, and I am so glad he did. Lone Wolf, if you're out there, lurking, just say hi. So Lone Wolf put a video of this out, but he told me he was doing it. So yeah. So I didn't really steal it. He just told me, hey, it's a good Judge Ricke clip. So all right, I'm gonna stop talking. Let's go.
This is in the District Court of Greenwood County, Kansas, case entitled State of Kansas versus Holly A. Reynolds. It is case number 2021 CR 137. Jill Gillette appears as Greenwood County Attorney, Richard Paw as Defense Counsel. Holly Reynolds now appears about 15 minutes late. Ms. Reynolds, this proceeding was scheduled to begin at 1:00 p.m. today. You weren't here until 15 minutes later. Why is that?
The road construction had a pilot car and we had to wait for the pilot car. Like about 10 minutes outside of town. Last time they didn't have a pilot car when they had the road construction. So we weren't prepared.
We have all participants on the meeting now. We will proceed further. This is scheduled further hearing on a warrant to show cause matter. Court believes that the current allegation before the court is failing to report to her officer as directed. Is that a fair summary, Mr. Ketley?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. I may address you further later regarding it. I also will note for the record that there was some research done regarding the issue of continuing jurisdiction of this court over this matter. The court does note that at a previous hearing in this case, where the probation in this case was reviewed, I believe that was the hearing of November 18 of 2022, the court reinstated probation and extended it for 1 year, 12 months from the original expiration date. I think the original expiration date would have been January 27 of 2023, which means that the 12-month extension went to January 27 of 2024. The warrant to show cause that's before us today was actually filed even before the expiration date on this case. So it's the court's ruling that it has jurisdiction to proceed further. Mr. Paw, what are your client's intentions regarding the failing to report to her officer allegation?
Judge, which warrant to show cause? The only warrant to show, I see it now, Judge. Never mind. That was done on January 11th, but it wasn't filed until the 10th of April, Your Honor.
You mean the service return?
Yeah, I got in trouble with that one. I don't want to go into a lot of details, but yeah, there was someone on the Zoom court that lifted her shirt at an inappropriate time and flashed the entire courtroom. Yeah, I had to take it down and make a quick edit of it. But yeah, that happened. I mean, you can go watch the video now, but it's blurred out. But yeah. Didn't see that happen. Didn't see it. Yeah. All right, let's keep going.
On it wasn't filed until the 10th of April.
No, she was arrested on 4/7, Judge. Okay, looks like everything is. No, that is correct, Your Honor.
All right, the court will proceed further then. And again, your client's intentions?
Judge, when I spoke to her last time before we had this issue, her intentions were at that time was to waive her evidentiary hearing and admit to violations. as outlined in the motion to revoke probation on 4/23 of 24.
All right. Ms. Reynolds, you've been present when your attorney made an announcement on your behalf.
No, I didn't nearly publish it. I did publish it. It was out there for about 6 hours. And then I started reading through the comments, and there were people saying, are we just going to completely ignore the fact that this person just flashed the entire court? And then people were leaving timestamps. So I was like, I got to go look at this. Did this really happen? And yep, it did. It definitely did for about 2 seconds. Yeah. Yeah.
That you would now intend to waive any formal due process hearing that you'd otherwise be entitled to, and instead stipulate and agree that you committed the failing to report violation, which was alleged by Mr. Ketley in his most recent warrant to show cause. In waiving your hearing, you'd be waiving the right to require the state to present evidence and prove the allegation by a preponderance of the evidence. You could challenge the state's evidence with the assistance of your lawyer, Mr. Paul, present your own evidence, and confront the state's witnesses unless good cause was shown. Among other lesser remedies that the court has, the court could consider an outright revocation of your probation and having you serve the remaining balance of your sentence locked up. Ms. Reynolds, do you understand these things?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is it your intention to waive a hearing in this case and stipulate and agree that you committed the failing to report violation as alleged?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. The court finds that the defendant has knowingly waived her right to a hearing in this case and stipulates and agrees that she committed the failing to report violation as alleged by Mr. Ketley. I'll obviously ask for recommendations from counsel, but I want to start off with Mr. Ketley. Mr. Ketley, your allegation was made some time ago. What has been the track record of performance of your client since you filed this warrant to show cause in January?
I don't believe haven't had any contact with her, Your Honor. Since I think the last time she reported me on October 18th, and I set her up for November 1st, and then I haven't heard anything since then.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Ketley. Ms. Gillette, based on what's currently before the court, what are the state's recommendations regarding an appropriate disposition here?
Judge, in this matter, we had a previous violation hearing. She was to have a 60-day sentence or sanction. There was a compassionate release for her due to her father passing away, allowing her to go to the funeral, which is not usually a thing that always happens. Sometimes we just say you're in trouble, it's too bad, you don't get to go to a funeral, but in this case we allowed that for her. She was to have 60 days done as a sanction last time. Promises to do what she needed to do, promises to go to treatment, and here we are with her basically absconded. So with her absconsion from supervision, she just took off. And with her taking off November 1st, 2023, she didn't report and hasn't reported since. Normally, when someone's in trouble, they get right back in and talk to their officer and get into treatment. But instead, Ms. Reynolds has not done that. So my recommendations have to be an outright revocation based on her being an absconder and refusing to comply with anything with her ISO. She still had a balance due at the time that we filed the motion to revoke probation.
What is that current balance?
It was $858 at that time.
All right, thank you. Mr. Paul, as defense counsel, what is your recommendation regarding an appropriate disposition here?
Judge, I would ask that the court sanction her and then reinstate her. I know she's been working in Newton. I know that she's been working hard on her sobriety. I believe she would tell the court that, as evidence today, she didn't have a ride. She lives in Newton, Kansas. Judge, I also don't believe that there's been any other criminal matters against Miss Reynolds during this whole time, which is something we rarely see in these cases. Usually when people are not reporting. They're out doing bad things. And from what Miss Reynolds tells me, she's been out doing good things, trying to better herself, work a job, keep that job. And so that's why my recommendation, Your Honor, is to sanction her with what you feel is appropriate and reinstate her.
Very well. Holly Reynolds?
Yes, Your Honor.
At this time, I would address you personally, and I'll ask you, do you have any personal statements that you wish to make to the court in mitigation of punishment here, or anything further that you personally would like to present to the court, in addition to what Mr. Paul has already presented on your behalf?
I'm sorry for being absconded. I didn't become absconded just for no reason. It was just, I had a mental breakdown because my dad died. The guy I was with for 10 years died from kidney failure. It was just so many deaths, one right after the other, that I couldn't handle it anymore. And I mentally broke down, and I quit seeing everybody. I quit going to corrections. I quit going to work. I quit doing everything and got really depressed. It's been really hard on me. I mean, there was 5 deaths all within a year. I mean, it was really bad. And I'm still trying to deal with it, and it's hard.
Okay, anything else? Okay, I saw the shake of your head no, so I will perceive that you've completed your statement to the court. Ms. Reynolds, you were placed in this case on reporting probation with a heavy emphasis on the word reporting. ISOs often are very aware of community resources that their clients can be referred to when they're having stressful situations. I'm not making light of the pain that's associated with any of the deaths that you referred to in your statement. Everyone has to deal with the tragedy of death at some point in their lives. When you've had a history of any type of drug offenses, it's really important that you stay.
Sparkle, every time I read one of your comments, I hear your voice. Your lovely and beautiful voice is forever ingrained into my brain. So I can just read it. I can just read it and hear your voice. Thank you for being a part of the community.
In contact with your supervising officer, let him know what's going on with you, and then let him make the appropriate referrals or to try to get you some sort of assistance with whatever problems that you're having. What you cannot do is just check out and use that as an excuse to stop your program. What you do in that instance, Ms. Reynolds, is essentially say, I am not a candidate for the reporting probation that the judge wanted me to complete. Rather, what you're essentially doing is saying, I will just face the music of doing my time. That apparently is where we are in this case, Ms. Reynolds. You've had ample opportunity to correct your behaviors, report to your officer, seek his help, if necessary, demand his help, and to utilize the resources that are out in the community to keep you in the community. You've elected not to do that. On top of that, Ms. Reynolds, you're habitually late for court, including being 15 minutes late today. And indeed, there may have been some road construction and a pilot car situation, but you should have left earlier. You should allow extra time. I just don't think you take court seriously, Ms. Reynolds, much less supervision or probation or anything else that was involved in your case. So the only viable alternative is what the prosecutor recommends in this case, and that is an outright revocation of your probation, and that will be the order of the court. The court finds that this defendant has been willfully non-compliant with the terms and conditions of her probation, that it's not in her best interest to be on a probation, which she clearly is not amenable to successfully finish. Holly Reynolds will make promises and not follow through on them. And she's been given ample opportunity and even been punished for previous non-compliance and doesn't even take serious jail sanctions seriously enough to conform her behavior to what's expected by the court. Therefore, the court does order Holly Reynolds to serve the remaining balance of her sentence in Department of Corrections custody. The court orders her to be taken into custody by the representatives of the Greenwood County Sheriff's Office until her custody can be transferred to serve the remaining balance of the 20-month prison sentence that was originally ordered in the case. With that said, Ms. Gillette, I would ask your office to do appropriate research and determine the appropriate number of jail time credit days to which this defendant is entitled and include that in the journal entry of revocation, which will stem from today. I do know she has some jail time credit. I will note that she does have a 12-month post-release supervision period, which this court re-announces. And I believe that she was in a 20% good time credit category with this particular offense of possession of methamphetamine, a level 5 drug felony. All right, with that order made, Ms. Gillette, is there anything further that you need clarification on?
No, I was looking up her jail time credit. And I don't know if she's got any charges out of Saline County, but she did spend an overnight in there in June, so.
All right. I will say that whatever balance exists in this case is declared to be immediately due and payable and collectible. It can be referred to collection agency for further handling.
What if I can pay it?
No additional fees will be imposed today. It does appear that her balance previously was $858, but the court will not add any more bids amounts, despite Mr. Paz's involvement on her behalf and representation. Court finding that I don't think she's got the financial resources while locked up to pay additional amounts. All right, Mr. Pa, are you aware of anything further we need to address today?
No, Your Honor.
Thank you very much for your timely appearance here today, Mr.
Hold on. Can they give you?
Yeah, can I get a week to prepare for this?
She is my
This is
employee.
27 months of my life that's gonna be locked up. I need to say bye to my kids. And
I'm
my
not
job.
understanding a thing you're saying, ma'am.
Can I get at least a week to be able to say goodbye to my kids and my family?
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
My employee, sir. And she spent the last 2 months getting her life together, at least for that much,
Like,
to
I
come and
really
work for me.
not
This
getting
court
in trouble.
disagrees. Getting her life together would have included reporting to her officer. And she didn't even make the effort to do that one time, according to Mr. Ketley. So I'm not sure what your involvement is here, sir, but the court's order stands. She's in custody of the sheriff's office until she can be transferred to the Secretary of Corrections in their custody.
Can we get my affairs together, like at
No.
least 20?
No, I'm not going to defer your time. You need to go into custody today, Ms. Reynolds.
Sir, can you leave, please? Can I give her a hug? Can you leave, please?
That's up to the officer.
You're not going to be cussing in court. You're not going to be cussing in court.
Sorry, sir.
Jill, did you have something else you needed to bring to the attention of the court?
No, Judge, I was just filling out all of the notes that I have to for the journal entry. I've started.
Thank you to the officer on scene of being able to take her into custody at this time. If there's nothing further then, excuse me? Sorry, did I hear someone?
I was talking to her. I'm sorry, Your Honor. I apologize.
Okay, again, thank you. If there's nothing further then, the Holly Reynolds matter will be in recess at this time. And this.
Yeah, that just happened. That just happened. All right. Okay. So this next one, Victoria, I need you to do me a big favor. When you go into work tomorrow, you have to tell the judge what this defendant tells this judge. You have to. You have to. I think you might get your raise if you do. Just saying.
People versus Emmanuel Channels, 24252.
Ready, Judge. Portia Feaster, Assistant Public Defender, appearing on behalf of Mr. Channels. Mr. Channels, please unmute and state your name for the record.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
I ain't got much to say. All I gotta say is the government is Illuminati. They worship Satan, and y'all are Masons. That's literally it.
All I'm really asking for is your name and whether you can hear us.
All right then.
All right, Victoria, did you get that? Did you get it? That's what you got to tell them. I'll rewind it for you if you missed it. It happened really quick. It's the government's Illuminati. You worship Satan, and you guys are a bunch of Masons. Done. Raise. Instant raise.
Are we going to pass this matter?
It looks like he's leaving, Judge. I don't know if we can get much done today.
Okay, well, let me offer you that we don't have fingerprints.
Okay.
I don't exactly know what his stance on government actually was, because I couldn't really understand that, although I could guess.
Yes.
But I guess we'll just adjourn this to another date, or do you want to reach out and?
Yeah.
Your Honor.
There's somebody there.
Yeah, I'm the assistant director here. One of his hearings says. We can't hear you, sir.
Yep, well, you started out okay and then cut off.
A lot of his.
There you go.
A lot of his hearings have went just this way, locally.
So I'm not alone. You're not, so I don't have to feel badly that my very first hearing today, I shouldn't be insulted.
That's accurate. Yes, sir.
All right, thank you for, I'll take any port in a storm. Thank you very much. So, counsel, should we just adjourn this and read? I mean,
can we go ahead?
I don't have an objection to adjourning it if Mr. Feaster is able to reach out for him and this behavior continues. If he's not going to ask for it, I'd say we might need to look at confidence.
Yeah.
I don't know if how possible that is since he's in Ohio.
I don't either. That's a great question. And I don't know if it's competence or, obstruction or what, but I also, what does contempt look like if he's already incarcerated?
Right. My thought would be that we maybe go to the middle of August. That'll give me a chance to try to set up a Zoom or a call with him, see if he'll work with me. And if he won't, we'll know and we can go forward at that time, Judge.
Okay. So Ms. Bach, how about middle of August? What do you think? What looks good? How about August 21st?
Sounds great. Thank you, Judge.
You know, to keep everything kind of as fresh and not angered me as possible. Like, I don't make notes in the judge file like the defendant did this. I just put adjourn to this date. So if there's further things, someone's got to remind me of this. Like, I'm just saying, if that needs to happen, I just need to know. But I don't like to remind myself of bad behavior of people, because then it sort of sets everything. Okay.
My file.
The notes in Mr. Emmons' file remind the judge of exactly what happened. Okay.
Oh, that one was shorter than I expected. And I've already seen it. I knew it was short. I just didn't know it was only 3 minutes. All right. Next one, we're staying in Judge Conlin's court. This is actually the last one. This is just kind of weird. And Judge Conlin calls out the defendant on the way he's staring at him the entire time. Yeah, just watch.
To do about it.
Versus Khalil Robinson, 23371 FC.
Ready, Judge. Torshell Feaster, Assistant Public Defender, appearing on behalf of Mr. Robinson. Mr. Robinson, please state your name for the record.
Kahili Robinson. I just want to say too, Judge, if I can get a chance to talk to you before this case over, like before this court case over.
Mr. Robinson, I normally tell the judge what we discussed. I don't want you to say anything that could hurt you in this case.
No, I'm
and
not.
Actually, I didn't really hear you, so I'm not clear, but yes. I mean, the short answer is we're going to get all the information on the record, whether Mr. Feaster shares it or whether you share it. And if you think he's not sharing enough of it, I'll certainly listen to you. But let me just figure out what we're supposed to do today first, okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So my docket shows that this is a VOP hearing. So I'm just wondering, are we going to get a release today? What are we going to do?
No, Judge, I had an opportunity to talk to Mr. Evans and Mr. Robinson's agent, Ms. Miller, about this file, trying to get Mr. Robinson the appropriate services and help that he needs to be successful. Initially, we were having some difficulty getting him to work with my office social workers to be able to get him those services and things that he needs. In a conversation that he and I had this morning, he understands what he needs to do. and what's going to allow him to be the most successful he can be, should he be released at some point in the future. And so I'm actually going to go over to the jail on Monday with our social worker. We're going to sit down with Mr. Robinson. We're going to try to come up with a plan.
Are you saying you can't hear me or you can't hear the defendant? Is there something wrong with the volume? Yeah, I've got it all the way up. Hopefully it was just that second.
Plan that works per my conversation with Mr. Evans and Agent Miller, and hopefully be able to get him set up for that plan so that we can ultimately get him released. The recommendation right now is for 1 year in the county jail with credit for 200.
Oh, this is the one and only Tortio Feaster. Ready, Judge. Love it. I say this all the time. Whenever one of his cases is called, doesn't matter where he is, you just hear him scream out, "Ready, Judge!" I love it. He's done it in the Simpsons court, Judge Simpson's court before when he was walking inside, like yelled it from the court gallery, "Ready, Judge!" He's awesome.
And 48 days. So if we can adjourn this 2 weeks, I'll have a chance to see him on Monday with our agent and see if we can get that plan in place and hopefully get him out of here sooner than later, Judge.
All right, so what's on the table, Mr. Robinson, is adjourning the VOP, the violation of probation hearing, 2 weeks. Is that okay with you? Is there anything more you want to add to that?
I'm wondering, sir, please, I'm trying to get out today. I need to go home because I got a lot of stuff going on. I didn't mean to say that. I got a lot of stuff going on, sir, and I keep itching and stuff, and I'm trying to handle that and take care of that and take care of my body and my.
He's got a lot going on. You know what he doesn't have going on? Blinking. He's not blinking. I don't know how it's possible.
My mom, she want me home. So like she said I can come home if you thought that that I didn't have no way to come home. I'm just letting you know because Roberto.
I'm gonna cut you off.
Hold on.
Mr. Robinson.
Hold on, I'm talking to the judge.
Mr. Robinson.
I'm talking to the judge.
Let me offer you this, Mr. Robinson. There's only 2 ways you get out today. The first way is that Mr. Feaster makes a bond argument and I make a decision to let you out today pending the hearing. The other way is that we have the hearing today and the prosecutor proves by preponderance of the evidence that you violated your probation, and you don't, if the prosecutor doesn't prove that, then you'd get discharged because the case would go away. But if the prosecutor carries the burden of preponderance of the evidence, which is kind of more likely than not that you violated, then I have to sentence you accordingly, and that won't happen today, and you'd be in waiting the sentencing, and then what if that sentencing exceeded what probation is recommending right now to settle this? So my worry is that there's only one way you could probably get out today, and that would be a bond argument. But Mr. Feaster says there are services available. He'd like to have the social worker meet with you on Monday. So what if we adjourn this 1 week instead of 2?
So if we could do that, I wouldn't be here next week. So someone up from my office would cover for me. And I don't
Why not, Mr. Feaster? I mean, like, what's up with it?
I will be out of town next week, Judge. Secondly, I think it's going to take our social worker a little more than a couple of days to put together the plan. And talking to Agent Miller, probation had let him out previously, and he was not able to comply and follow through with the plan that they had put in place. And when I talked to Mr. Robinson this morning, I relayed to him that he is on probation for bank robbery, which is a life maximum offense.
We've actually had this exact conversation a couple of times.
Yes, Judge.
So, Mr. Robinson, even though Agent Miller is not here, Agent Gist is more than capable of speaking on her behalf. And I'm guessing that Agent Gist would argue against releasing you today. Fair? Because Mr. Emmons was pestering you. Would it be fair to say that you would argue against releasing this defendant pending his violation of probation?
Please, I will apply to probation. I got y'all. I'll make a payment right when I leave out. I got y'all with a payment. I promise you, I got some money.
So in my conversation with Agent Miller, I was actually very surprised at the recommendation.
Okay, so he thinks that he's, he just needs to make a payment and he can leave jail. Not the best thing you want to hear from a defendant that's in jail for robbing a bank. I got you. I got the money. Like, yeah, man. It's not how it works, but you might want to stop talking and start blinking.
Because the recommendation in our discussion was going to be prison. And so I was trying to make this clear to Mr. Robinson, that he is very likely looking at the possibility of going to prison if he does not follow through with the plan that we put in place and follow through with probation's orders. And so I just need him to really understand that this is like the absolute last chance he's going to have to not go to prison if we're able to put together a plan that is appropriate. And so I know he wants to go home today, but that's not necessarily in his best interest if he's going to not be able to follow through with the probation order. And I'm trying to keep him from the possibility of life in prison. So I need you to understand that you have to work with our social worker, and we need to come back in 2 weeks so we can get you set up and try to get you out, Mr. Robinson.
No, I'm trying to get out today, and I'm gonna go talk to the social worker right when I get out. I'm gonna go see I'm gonna call him, and I'm gonna go see the social worker when I go see my probation officer. I got you.
Robinson, you are not really, I don't think, appropriately responding to the potential that you could spend life in prison.
No,
I don't know that would happen, but you certainly could spend any number of period of time in prison. And that's worrisome. So if you want to get out of the Washtenaw County Jail, just imagine how much you'd want to get out of prison.
Right. But this is going on. Like, I can't, they won't let me send no calls. I can't pick up the phone because the phone is shit going on and stuff going on, sir. And like, I can't make no calls, and like, and I'm in the hole the whole time, and I don't understand how I'm in the hole. I had gotten into it with the person who worked here, the owner, like he the head boss of this in here. He the police boss, and he got a problem with me. Like he just don't like me or something, and he just keeping me in the hole. And I've been in the hole for 4 months, sir. And I'm so tired of it. And I swear to God, Your Honor, I'm so tired of it. I've been in the hole for 4 months. Last time I was in here, I did 2 months and 25 days. The last time I was in here, I did 3 months. And I've been in a hole every time, in the hole, and I only come out 1 hour. And sometimes they shorten the hours from 30 minutes. That's all I'm saying. And I'm so tired of this. And I understand I made a mistake, and I'm gonna work with y'all. I really am. And I just need your help, sir.
Why do you think you're in the hole so much? Are you misbehaving in jail?
No, Your Honor. You can ask one of the guards here right now. I'm not misbehaving. He'll tell you everything right now. I'm not doing nothing wrong. He just put me in there because he don't like me, and we had a problem from back in the day when I.
Yeah, this guy's failure to use periods is exactly in line with his failure to blink. Yeah, he doesn't like blinking, doesn't like punctuation. You know, I mean, it's his thing. I got you.
I was like 16, 17, and that's why I have been in the hole since I've been 18 or 19. And ever since I've been coming to jail, I'm 22 right now, but I have been in the hole back and forth, because me and him got into a fight back in the day because he ran up on me and stuff when I was younger. And I know this is not none of your concern, but I'm just letting you know that's the real. And that's why I stay in the hole, and I'm so tired of being in the hole, and I just want to go home. I'm losing my mind, but I'm cool. I'm not doing nothing, but I'm just constantly built up in a cell by myself, just sitting in the cell going through a lot of stuff. You understand, Your Honor?
I don't, maybe out of personal knowledge, but you've described it pretty thoroughly. So I'm going to go with that. I guess my question is this, though, Mr. Robinson. I don't think I can let you out today because the stakes of prison are looming over us. And so it's going to take a minute to take care of this. So I don't know about the hole. I don't know if Mr. Feaster can work on maybe getting you out of the hole. But the fact is, if you can sit down with a social worker and we can get a report, in 2 weeks, there's the possibility of resolving this. And if Agent Miller is on board with that resolution, that's a huge win, because then I don't have to make a decision between your defense attorney and our probation department. If everybody's on the same page, if we're all going to agree to it, then that's what's going to happen. And part of your planning could be you get out on a certain date, and this is what you're going to do. So you think you can sit tight until I see you again in 2 weeks?
I really think I can. I'm not trying to be funny, but I have done 4 months. and I'm trying to get out if that's possible, sir, by any chance, please, sir.
I understand that, but I can't, the best I could do is 1 week, but Mr. Feaster's worried that he's not gonna have enough information to convince Agent Miller that this is the right plan. So it doesn't do us any good to come back in a week if everybody's not on board.
Wait, Victoria, that was the subway guy in Judge Blysheri's court? He was, wasn't he? The guy, I worked at Subway for 5 years. I just, I can't do that anymore. Subway guy. Yeah, that had to be Judge Fletcher. Perfect. Also, what's up, Nikki? Thank you for hanging out with us.
And to the whole issue, Judge, I did speak to Mr. Robinson this morning. He told me what's going on with being in the hole. I did email Sergeant Arnett about the situation, trying to make sure that Mr. Robinson had everything he needed so that his mental health did not deteriorate, and to try to help get him anything he can get to try to get him more time out if necessary. So I have reached out to the jail to try to help to alleviate that issue that Mr. Robinson's having, Judge.
So I think that's kind of the best we can do.
Can you give me a week or something? I never told him. I'm really trying to get out, man, because I've been tired of this. But I'm saying, can you give me like a week or something at least? Because for real, like I ain't even tell him that I was in the hole. When I talked to him, I ain't tell him that I was in the hole. He just saying that. I don't know what's going on with my attorney, but I might want to have to fire him or something, because I'm not trying to. He not going with me again. Like he not trying to help me as much as I think he should, because he keeps trying to bicker and go back and forth with me. But I don't understand. I don't know what to do, because I'm trying to hurry up and get out, and I've been in here for 4 months. You feel me? Exactly 4 months, but I don't know what to do.
Well, the problem is that your attorney, who seems to have a pretty good idea, is not here next week. So if we don't do it, if I bring you back.
Answer, sir, please. Every time you open your pie hole, you get it worse trouble. So stay the course, will you?
Lawyer. Mr. Robinson, do your eyes dry out? Because I've never seen eyes as wide as yours, and you haven't blinked once. Like, I'm not kidding you. I'm worried about your dry eyes.
I'm cool, man. But can you just
I told you, Judge made a comment about it. That's all anyone is looking at right now are his eyes. All right, this is it. There's only about a minute left of this video, so you guys all have a great night. Thank you everyone for hanging out. You guys are awesome. I can't. Yeah, you guys are awesome. I've got a really good video to release tomorrow. I'm gonna try to finish editing it tonight, but it's gonna take a lot of editing because the guy doesn't stop yelling and cursing at the judge. And yeah, so that's gonna be released tomorrow morning. But yeah, I can't even sneak peek it tonight because all the editing. I think there's gonna be more bleeps than there's gonna be words in the video. Sparkle Poots, thank you so much for the 5 gifted memberships. That is awesome. Thank you so much, Sparkle Poots, and welcome to the 5 new members. Thank you so much, Sparkle. All right. Let's go. Let's finish this up. Yep, you guys are awesome. Till next time. Bye.
fire him then and have me come back in a week or something?
You can have him come back next week, Judge, if you want. Maybe we'll have something done.
Let's just roll them dice. All right, we'll see you back here on the 24th, which is next Wednesday, and we'll see what happens, okay?
All right, thank you.
All right. Close your eyes now and let them water up a little.
Hold on. Is the attorney gonna bring the dude here? Is he gonna come?
He's gonna see you, I think, on Monday.
Monday at 1 o'clock, sir.
Oops, that's not right.
Monday at 1 o'clock. All right,
See you Monday at 1 o'clock. Me and Mr. Miller.
Good looking, man. Will I be leaving after that?
51 People versus Deirdre Woods, 24-3-1.